Hello, hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to my channel. And first and foremost, happy 2026. I'm wishing you lots of beautiful things, wishes come true, health, wealth, friendships, and fun, and lightheartedness, and growth, and anything else that you might want. So I thought this week, because I've taken a nice long break, which was really good for my soul, that I would just pick one card for 2026. So it's a card for the collective. And the idea is that this particular frequency will guide you and, how can I say it, just be like your beacon for the year. So when in doubt, come back to this card and this particular frequency. So see this card as the lighthouse to show your way, and if everything gets muddled and confused, this is your card. So, and the Spritzer for 2026 is Starlight Awakening, which as you can see is like this shimmery kind of, I'm not even sure what color it is, it's kind of bluish. So as usual, I'm gonna put some on my hands like this. And then I shall rub it until the alcohol disappears, then smell it. And then I shall use it to kind of fluff my aura. I go all around my aura. So this is your companion this year, 2026. And I will put the link underneath if you want to buy them. This, if you were to buy one spritzer, this would be it, the Starlight Awakening. And so I'll put the different links underneath as to where you can find them, both in the US, in Europe, and anywhere else you might be living. Okay, so spirit guides, unconditional love, show me what frequency, what light language symbol this collective needs for 2026. Okay, hold on. Cards are a little sticky, feeling a little rusty this morning. So the card is soul music. And I'm looking at it going, oh no. So what I'm going to do with this card is I'm going to channel some light language, but also I'm going to actually give you like the full information about it that's in the guidebook. Ka uata ana awa awa ini atiku ete awate anakashi awa takachi nuku awate ashi anawata ashi akakatut atusaka ete anakashi uate hara uechi anaka uata ashina aka esi akashe. So this is about, I'm going to say in a really loose way, the frequencies that you listen to, that you digest, that you absorb, that you, and as an extension, I talk about this a lot, that you emit. And so it's a real, like a real encouragement, or a real like you're being encouraged to really watch and pay attention to what you listen to this year. So it's both noise that's coming from the news, that kind of thing, but it's also like be more picky. So even in the music that you listen to, you know, this is how you're being encouraged to use the symbol. You can use this symbol as even music itself, you know, and you could place it on music that you have, or next to music that you're emitting. It will do something to the frequency. It will soften its harshness, and it will make it more pleasing to your soul and to your spirit. But the other thing about it is, I think it's being picky, and I've said this before, picky about what you listen to. And so in terms of music, especially frequencies, so things like tuning forks, the crystal bowls, that kind of, even music like subliminal music, all that kind of thing, they kind of can really work alongside your souls and bring through a lot of healing, support, growth, love. That's the idea. And so there, if you go on YouTube, just simply on YouTube, you can see there's so much you can choose from light language activations with music. There's a whole gamut of things. And what you're looking for is, does it contract my being, or does it expand it? Like when I listen to it, do I feel like I want to curl up in a little ball and kind of hide myself, or on the contrary, does it make me want to go out and kind of connect with the world? And that's kind of what you're looking for. So soul music. The Sirius piece here is about the fact that on Sirius, all music is soul music, and it has to resonate with our deepest senses and needs. And so they're always playing frequencies that are carefully selected to enhance community life and the individual roles of everybody. And the idea is that you can both hear it, but actually you feel those frequencies. So music doesn't exist without purpose. And because they have such an impact on the soul, and that the energies vibrate so deeply. So you have actually people who are purely musical creatives whose role is to create these frequencies. And for some of you, you might actually be called to make this type of music, to learn this type of music, to learn how to work with musical frequencies in a completely different way. And if anything, it is a call to action, in the sense that your soul might be asking you to create something with those intentions. And so the idea is that you stop listening to what they call unrefined frequencies, frequencies that do nothing to your soul, and that you be much more discerning about what you allow into your field. Nature sounds, I've mentioned this, I think I even wrote a blog about it, which I'll put underneath. Nature sounds have these like pure frequencies that really speak to the soul. We talk about Schumann resonance, but actually even like the whole, like if you listen to like jungle music, what people also call white music, all these types of music do really something to your soul. And they're very healing. They can be very healing, and they can organize themselves, and they can support your soul. So there's also another layer to this, which is you can actually receive your answers through music, especially if you know, I have a friend of mine, like she always gets her answers through just switching on the radio, and whatever song will give her answer. And you can actually intend that, like, you know, when you go into your car, I'll switch on like Spotify or whatever radio you listen to, and you can ask, you know, this is a question I have, give me an answer through music. Or you can have a whole conversations with your guides and with that intent. So it's a lot about intent, and you're being like encouraged to listen this year in particular to high frequency music that can then channel your soul. So it's also movement, you know, a lot of like music that your body can move to, that kind of thing. So this particular symbol can help you get answers and inspiration, and it will help your body and your energy and your soul just vibrate to certain sacred sounds. Think of soul music as sacred sounds. And I think when you see it in that way, sacred sounds, it feels different. The nature can be sacred sounds like waterfalls, water, and you can intend for them to actually become the missing link in your own energy field. So there's a whole layer of healing that can come through these. So as I said, you know, look on YouTube and just explore and see, you know, this is very personal. See what your soul needs, and it will change probably all year long, but make music and frequencies really important this year. What's also interesting about this particular card, or this particular symbol, is that it has a real resonance with your third eye, your throat, your heart, your sacral, and your root. So nearly all your chakras really respond to this. So you can use this symbol to put it on any chakra. And you know, even if you feel called, if I didn't say one, I'm just trying to think, I didn't say the crown, I think, and I didn't say sacral, but you can definitely put them on there if you feel called to. So they kind of work with every chakras, and they can kind of attune like the frequency of each chakra, because each chakra will emit its own frequency. So the sound for this one is shu-oosh, shu-oosh, which you can also blow or say, or even chant like a mantra, shu-oosh, shu-oosh. And it has a special affinity with the Kolkwitzia flower, which I will look into in a little bit, the blue spruce essential oil too, and the calcite Rhombohedral crystal. So I'll take these out so that you can see them. So first off, it's the Idaho blue spruce, which is the essential oil that really works well with this symbol. Not going to go into the different brands. This is the one I had at home. It's grounding, very, very good for grounding and meditation, and it helps people feel more connected to nature and promote emotional balance and reduce anxiety and stress. It can also wake up the senses, boost energy levels, and enhance mental clarity and focus. And it can help release emotional blocks, apparently, and influence mood by boosting serotonin and dopamine levels. And then it has all sorts of other physical and skin benefits that you can look at, like immune system support, skin care. It can help like the lungs and the joints, the muscle and the joints. So I think what's really interesting, actually some men can find this as helpful in balancing their hormone levels, especially testosterone. And it's spiritually, which is always what I'm interested in. Native American tribes considered the blue spruce a sacred tree and used it in purification, rites, and spiritual ceremonies. So this is one that you could buy and have, you could either use it on your skin. Don't forget to dilute it into oil, of course, or diffuse it. I think there's lots of ways to look at it, and you might feel called to journey with it. So this is the blue spruce. You'll find, of course, a picture of the Kolkwitzia flower, but I just wanted to know it's also known as the beauty bush because it symbolizes beauty, love, and domesticity. And so it literally means worthy of love, which I really like. And so, as I say, beauty bush. It's connected, it blooms in late spring, so it's connected to Mother's Day, so symbolizing thanks and family affection. Yeah, so think of abundant, cheerful beauty, gratitude as its kind of energy. And you can also, you can get the flower essences, or you might even want to grow some if they grow where you are. I don't know if it does. But it seems pretty, like a pretty normal, like shrub to have in your. It also in sort of on a spiritual level, it symbolizes developing self-confidence, maturity, and practical perseverance. So it fosters inner stability and self-reliance through conscious effort. And it also links to positive energies, renewal, and fresh starts. So it's associated with the East in Feng Shui. So that should give you a little bit more information. So I'll give you I'll give you the frequency of the symbol at the end. But so this is the crystal, the calcite rhombohedral. Sorry for the pronunciations. That amplifies it. Remember, I'm talking about amplifiers here. So it's associated with amplifying energy, enhancing mental clarity, and facilitating deep spiritual insight. And the shape, so the fact that it has this shape, is believed to help clear stagnant energy and promote personal and spiritual growth. So these are ways that you can use it, and you can put it on there to amplify it. So I was going to say this could be like your 2026 toolkit, the symbol, the Idaho spruce, the calcite, the spiritual, Starlight awakening. I'm having a moment here. I wanted to add a couple of things that you could think about this year as part of your spiritual toolkit for 2026. So I got these beautiful deck of cards from my sister for Christmas, and they're all about herbs that we can all grow and eat and use. And so what herb would really work well this year? So this one. Hold on. Okay, so the herb I got is Dandelion, and it has to do with tenacity. Dandelion makes me always think, of course, of your liver. It's definitely a herb that will support your liver and detox your liver, which actually people could be thinking about after all this festive eating. So this is the herb you want to definitely journey with and consume and drink and let's see what else we can find about it. Some fun facts about the plant. It's associated with Jupiter, and the vibe is tenacity, as you can see on the card. It's all about perseverance, determination, indicating success, but not before a bit of hard graft. The taproot goes deep into the earth, drawing up nourishment from the soul's reserve. So it's asking you really to dig deep and discover what's at the root of any issues. So you can draw parallels between the root's resilience and your ability to confront challenges with unwavering resolve and self-belief. So you're being asked to be tenacious this year and to see a task through to the end. So if you feel like quitting, now's not the time, according to your 2026 reading. It rebalances digestion, encourages absorption of nutrients from your food, and balances blood sugars. So it's going to keep you nourished and balanced to help enable this tenacity. You can find dandelions everywhere because they're super resilient. It's just a common herb that keeps coming back even when it's dug up. So it can really regenerate, and that's kind of, I think, a great symbolism for or metaphor for this year. So if you're, as I said earlier on, if you feel like giving up on a current project or situation, stick to your original plan. So just plod through and put in the hours, because it's about you dedicating yourself to the process. So you need to go beyond the surface systematically and with discipline to find solutions and be relentlessly determined. So this is like the energy and the power and the medicine of this. It's about resilience, stepping over hurdles, and emerging with renewed vigor. So this is really a great plant to work with and to take. I'm literally right now taking something called Swedish bitters, and it has dandelion in there because to support my liver. So, and it's also a confirmation that if you put in the effort, you put in the perseverance and the determination, there will be positive outcomes. So this card is asking you to think about how you respond to challenges or setbacks. And, in the past, how have you handled things? So how can you this year cultivate a similar sense of tenacity and determination in your own life? So I think this is a great one to work with, journey with all year long. This is going to be part of your 2026 toolbox. And maybe it's also a call for all of you to be tending to your liver and to balance out your blood sugar. So finally, I wanted to call in a spirit guide, an animal spirit guide as a messenger for 2025. And I got, I don't know if you can see it, the cow, which is all about fertility, purity, divinity. So it's considered to be the most ancient of sacred animals, both in Egypt. It also represents Isis, the wife of Osiris. And as you know, Iris is like one of the foremost Egyptian goddesses who's associated with abundance and fertility. But there were also cow cultures in Greco-Roman cultures. So there were cow cults, sorry. It's also sacred in India, where it's considered a being of great purity and fertility. And in Hinduism, it represents female power in nature, whereby the earth itself is conceived as a cow and all vegetation and food derives from its milking. So this is a call to work with cow medicine and to look at cows as your messengers. I'm going to extend it a little bit, and this is all about how and where you are in your process, but maybe it is a time, if you're eating cow products, to stop you consuming cow products, maybe to go and spend time with cows, but just see the cow as your messenger this year. And so when you're wanting answers, I mean, music will be it, but also go and spend time with a cow, just lie down. There's some places where there's some animal sanctuaries where you can really connect with their energy, and there's so much that you can learn about the beauty of these animals. They're super powerful, super sweet, and that there's so much out there. So maybe it's a call to stop, as say, consuming cow products in any form or shape. If that's your calling, I'm not going to judge or anything. This is a soul decision, nothing else. But cow is going to be guided messenger this year in 2026. So I say spend time with cows. Some of you might actually get cows. Go to a rescue sanctuary and connect with some. And yeah, maybe think about how cow wants to come through. And it feels like a really big awakening in terms of how we conceive the cow, how we've treated the cow, and what the, you know, so it's like if it's a sacred being, like why are we treating it like a commodity? So something to think about. The cow, and then so finally the frequency for soul music. So this is a frequency that you can wear all year long or have around you or put on your projects or however you want to do it. Remember, on the left side, in your bra, in your back pocket, on your phone, it doesn't matter. 96, 52, 52, 76, 26, 51, 95, 97, 95. So this is like the frequency for 2026. And I'll put it here. So I hope this helped. I hope this makes sense to you, that as a toolkit. Oh, the other final thing I wanted to say is, as you saw, I have all these little crystals here in this malachite. I don't know how to say it. Well, if there was a color for 2026, this would be it. It's like this deep green. So whatever that means to you, for me it means, you know, it feels fresh. It feels, I know it's a year, universal year number 1 for collectively. But like, what does this green color mean to you? It's joyful, it's abundant, it's lush. All these things that you can think about. So if as a color, this is what you resonate with. This is something that you could work with. Like, wear this kind of color, surround yourself with this color. It will all kind of support, you know, we talk about color all the time, but this is kind of another way of looking at this. So wishing you all a beautiful, successful, happy, musical, soulful 2026, and I'll speak to you soon, or I'll be back next week. Have a beautiful 2026 in any case.